Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lifestyles Nutrition radio program. I'm your host, Amit S.Katz. I'm the owner of Lifestyles Nutrition in Indian Wells, California. We are located on Highway 111 and Cook Street in the Village in Indian Wells. I'm also the author of the book, The Frontline of Nutrition, 50 Treatments, Remedies, and Cures you can find in a health food store. I'm also the creator, the progenitor, the mastermind behind the Amit's Lifestyles Diet, which is a diet that's designed to help you navigate your weight to where you want to go without hitting any stumbling blocks. As I said in the past, and I'll probably say it another million times, diets are an industry. They're designed to keep you on them forever. The longer you're on a diet, the more money people make. My diet is not designed to keep you on it forever, or at least it's designed to keep you on it for the rest of your life, but I'm not looking to make money until the day you die. It's kind of a one-time thing. I teach you how to do this thing, how to get the weight off, educate you, get you into the situation where you are losing weight and you know what to do, and that's it. You're not hooked for life. I want to welcome to the show all citizens of the desert. I'm talking to you, Palm Springs. I'm talking to you, Desert Hot Springs, Thousand Palms, Cat City, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, Indian Wells, La Quinta, Bermuda Dunes, Indio, and City of Coachella, and beyond. How are you doing? Well, enough about me. How are you doing today? That's what I want to know. The Lifestyles Nutrition radio program is designed to make you healthy, is designed to put pages in your playbook. It's designed to educate you about what's going on in the world so that you don't delegate the responsibility over your health and your life to a stranger. And as I like to say, that's empowering. Because when you're in control, you're always going to make the right decision for you. On today's program, I'm going to tackle the subject of hormone replacement therapy. Now, I'm sure there are a bunch of guys out there that just heard hormone replacement therapy. This has absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm a dude. I don't need hormone replacement therapy, and I'm going to switch the radio off right now. Wrong. That's the first mistake. That if you haven't made any mistakes today, you didn't get a ticket, you didn't. No, that switching the radio off right now would be a big mistake, because chances are you're not on Dude Island all by yourself. You live in a world with many, many women, from your sister to your wife to your mom to your neighbor, and they're all around you. And if you want to understand women, and that's kind of a thing, it's an ongoing theme in our society, understanding women. If you really want to understand women on a much, much better level, you're going to want to tune in to the second part coming up after the break, because I'm going to get into the female cycle. And I'm going to dispel some myths about the female cycle that you're going to want to know. And it's going to empower you as a guy. Now, as a woman, absolutely. You should be tuning in to every word that I'm saying, because you're going to learn something that it's an ongoing thing with me, something that I talk about quite a bit, how we've been given possession of the most advanced piece of machinery, which is the human body, and no manual. So it's like a universal joke. Now, think about it from a woman's standpoint. You've been entrusted with this amazing piece of machinery, and you're an even more complicated version of this machine. The manual has even more sections on it that nobody teaches you, and in many ways you discover them through getting a period, getting pregnant, getting this, getting that, different things, different changes in your life, and you have to roll with those punches. You can't go back to the factory and say, hey, what happened to that section in my female manual about period pains? You can't go back to that manual. It doesn't exist. You have to build that manual as you're going along. So you're going to want to tune into this. So our show topic today is hormone replacement therapy, and at 15 past the hour, I'm going to get into the truths, the lies, and how to avoid getting scammed by people, physicians, by the world out there that is attempting to assist you with hormone replacement therapy. We're gonna get into the various aspects of what a cycle is, what a female experiences throughout a cycle, what goes wrong in a cycle. We're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, what menopause is and what you can do in order to navigate this. One, how to not get scammed, because there are a lot of people out there who are credentialed, and yet they're not doing their job right. And I see this on a daily basis. And we're also going to guide you into a simpler, possibly cheaper way of going about assisting yourself in getting your hormones balanced and being happy about this. Now, the whole concept of hormone replacement therapy, it's nothing new. We've been experiencing this since the 60s. Hormone replacement therapy has been out there. Now, the bioidentical phenomenon of hormone replacement therapy is really something that has cropped up probably in the mid 90s, and the person that spearheaded a greater understanding of this, and she did us a huge service, was Suzanne Summers. You remember Chrissy from Three's Company? That was her, and she wrote a bunch of books on the subject. She herself is not a doctor, but she was a person that created her own health manual, and her books are really kind of cool. And she's gone out and she talks about her experiences and how she's gone from bad to good, and she's sharing them with the folks, and that's a wonderful thing. But this all started basically back, I think, in 1996. There was a study that was done on the hormone replacement drug Premarin, which is Premarin stands for pregnant mare's urine. So the hormones that were extracted from Premarin were a combined form, meaning a combined form of progesterone and estrogen. We're going to get into that after the break, but in a nutshell, this combined form, the government issued a study on it. And they were going to prove how this is the greatest thing in the world, and that all women who are experiencing menopause should get on this Premarin. And it was a 5-year study, and 2 years into it, not 2 years into the program, they scrapped it, because they found out that this combined form of progesterone and estrogen bombarding the cells of the body, giving mixed messages and a bunch of confusion to the cells of the uterus, to the cells of the ovaries, actually was cancer forming. And that basically ushered in the whole concept of bioidentical hormones, because one, estrogen, you can say, yeah, estrogen's estrogen and progesterone's progesterone, but the truth is that estrogen, the Premarin that they were talking about, was from a horse. And with all due respect, I don't know a woman who is a horse. So these hormones are really not correct for you. Giving horse tranquilizer to a human being is done for the purpose of putting that human down in a big way. Giving women hormones that are really not correct for them from another species of animal is really not correct for them either. And that ushered in the whole concept of bioidentical hormones, meaning hormones that we as humans recognize, our bodies recognize them, we utilize them, and we're able to get the most out of them. Now, just because a woman is getting bioidentical hormones does not mean that it is instantly correct for her. There is a right way and a wrong way to administer bioidentical hormones. And after the break, we're going to get into it's going to be a quick lesson. Hopefully I'm not firing this stuff at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour so that you know, it will sink in. And I'll try to recap a bunch of times so that I don't miss anybody in the process. But we're going to get into all of this and how we can go about navigating this and avoiding the scams. So, stay tuned, stay with us, and we'll be talking about the truths, the lies, and how to avoid getting scammed in your hormone replacement therapy. You are listening to Money Radio 1200.
Further than products from Genesis Today. Genesis Today has a great line of nutritional supplements made from pure natural foods that your body can absorb, instead of chemical supplements manufactured in a laboratory. Genesis Today is a progressive nutrition company that specializes in superfoods. These exceptional plants and fruits are packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other vital nutrients at 20 times, 100 times, even 200 times the nutritional value of common fruits and vegetables. These products are prepared with low to no heat so as not to destroy the nutrients, and package them in non-toxic glass bottles for your consumption. Visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center today to find out what Genesis Today product is right for you.
Whenever I work out, my joints ache the next morning.
It's embarrassing to have to take the elevator instead of walking up one flight of stairs because your knees and ankles grind.
I tried glucosamine, and it doesn't work.
Thank goodness I found out about Baxel. Now I'm ready to start my day.
Almost immediately I could feel the difference.
I needed Baxel's boost of hyaluronan.
It's safe, it's natural, and it's guaranteed joint relief.
Let me spell it out. Baxyl works. Knees, shoulders, hips, back. Nothing felt good until I took Baxel.
There's nothing like feeling great.
Running a 10K.
Riding bicycles with my grandkids.
I really miss working in my yard all weekend. Thanks to Baxel, I spend every Saturday outdoors.
Baxel lets me be active without worrying about how you'll feel tomorrow.
I asked myself, why did I feel so old for so long?
Baxel is available at Lifestyles Nutrition Center and online at lifestylesnutrition.net. Your joints will thank you.
Have you ever gone to a health food store seeking help and left with a product you didn't trust and information that was less than reliable? That never happens at Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells. We have over 20 years of matching our customers with the right supplements to enhance their life and improve their health. Come to Lifestyles and experience our experience. Feel better, look better. And now, through the summer months, receive 25% off of all of our store supplements. For more information, call 760-568-6522. And remember the name, Lifestyles, the first, the last, and the only health food store you will ever need.
Memory. It can be, well, less than reliable. Do you ever walk into a room and forget why you went in there? Ever lose your train of thought right in the middle of a conversation? What about misplacing your car keys or misplacing the whole car? If you think about it, your brain controls everything you do, walking, talking, and remembering things. The healthier your brain is, the better it's able to control all these important functions. As a normal part of aging, our memory begins to fade. Prevagen was developed to improve memory and support cognitive function. If you're experiencing occasional absent-mindedness or just want to support healthy brain function, then visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center in Indian Wells and ask for Prevagen. Prevagen is also available by calling 760-368-6522. Call 760-368-6522 or visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center and ask for Prevagen today.
What the market close means for you, along with insight from local business leaders. It's the Financial Review with Sinclair No, weekday afternoons at 4 on Money Radio 1200.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program. Before we went to break, I was talking about the hormone, about our show topic is hormone replacement therapy, the truths, the lies, and how to avoid getting scammed. Before we talk about the lies and the avoiding getting scammed part, we should talk about the truths, the things that everybody should know. It doesn't matter if you're a guy. If you're a guy, you should doubly know this because, as I've said before, you're not alone on Dude Island. You will be meeting women. It could be your mom. It could be your girlfriend. It could be your daughter. Maybe you have 3 daughters and a wife. You know, it'd be nice to know what's going on with them and how these women in your life are affected by their cycle. So let's talk about the female cycle. It's real important stuff. It's funny that there are 3 billion women on the planet. And whenever I sit and discuss this with them, they know that, hey, I have a period. Yeah, I ovulate. But what happens between those landmarks of their cycle is something that's they're pretty amazed to find out that this is happening in their body. So let's just give a quick overview of the female cycle. A female cycle is a 28-day cycle. We count day 1 of that cycle as the first day of the period. We count day 14. Usually day 14 is ovulation. Now, there are 4 key players that determine ovulation and determine when the period is coming in. But we're only going to talk about 2 of them. We'll mention the other 2 as well. But the 2 biggest players are the hormones estrogen and the hormones progesterone. So when a woman gets a period on day 1, all of her hormones are pretty much at the lowest level that they're going to be during the 28-day cycle. She is flatlining pretty much in all those areas. Her estrogen, her progesterone, and any other hormones in the body are also plodding along. They're not completely falling off the charts, but they're there. Now, at day 7, this is the first phenomenon that happens. Between day 7 and day 14, which is ovulation, estrogen levels start to climb. The peak of that estrogen level on day 14 ushers in the 24 to 48 hour of ovulation. Ovulation basically means, and please don't blush, it's the time at which a woman is most prone to get inseminated. That's it. That's ovulation. When that happens, certain emotional phenomenon will occur. When a woman is experiencing ovulation, she can be more excitable. She can be more happy. She'll be more apt to engaging in sex with you as a guy. Good thing to remember, right? Maybe I just clued you into something. Or maybe, hey, if you don't want to have sex with somebody in your life, avoid her, right? Hey, I'm just putting it out there. It's up to you. You engage whatever behavior you feel is right for you and the women in your life. But at day 14, that's ovulation. Now, no hormone in the body can keep on climbing indefinitely. The body has a way of regulating this. So once a woman achieves maximum threshold of estrogen, that estrogen starts to decline. So day 14, 15, 16, that estrogen plummets almost over that period. And that plummeting ushers in a spike of progesterone, which climbs over the next 7 days. And it rises to the same level that the estrogen had risen right before ovulation. And then at day 21, that will start to decline. It's the decline or the decay of progesterone from day 21 to day 28 which ushers in the period. So if you didn't quite grasp what you couldn't quite plot it out on a chart, what I just said, in a nutshell, estrogen rises one time and then declines before ovulation, and then progesterone rises and declines one time right before a period. This is important to remember because, as I like to say, the only constant in a female's hormones is that nothing is constant. Okay? During the first 2 weeks of a female cycle, a woman will be more estrogen dominating. And then at the right after ovulation, she'll be more progesterone dominant. Now, why is this important? Because when you go in to have a hormone panel done, and this is something that we've discovered. A woman will go in to a doctor and she'll say, I'm either menopausal or something's happening with me. I'm not feeling great. Go ahead, do a panel on me. Well, what type of panel would really give her the clearest indication of what's going on in her body? Would it be a one-off look at 1 day's worth of hormones, or would she really be best served by doing a hormone test every 3 days? It would be every 3 days. Why? Because if I tested her at day 5, right after her period, her hormones would be at the lowest. And that is not an indication of how her hormones are performing during ovulation or during week 3 when she's at maximum progesterone. And those are important parameters for anybody to have in determining what's going on with you and your health. And that is why I've seen this before, where a woman will go into a physician. And again, we need to remember something here. Endocrinologists are the doctors that deal with the glandular system of the body. What happened? Suzanne Somers did us all a phenomenal service by ushering in this whole new hormone replacement therapy era that we're living in. But what happened is a bunch of physicians jumped on the bandwagon, and just because they had a diploma in one area does not mean that they were versed in this whole concept of hormone replacement therapy. And they were learning it on the fly. And what happened as a result of this is I would get women who would come in. They would have one test done, probably at a time when they were at their lowest in their hormones, and then the doctor would look at this, didn't quite understand what he was looking at, and he would say, "Oh my goodness, your hormone levels are flatlining. You know, you're at your weakest. We have to pump them up to this to a level that is equivalent to your ovulation, or equivalent to the progesterone levels that you would have on your third week," which is completely wrong, because, as I said before, these hormones are you never have a maximum hormone level at any time. You achieve a peak and then it climbs down. You never stay there for 28 days straight. So what I would see is I would have women who would come to me with, they've been taking massive doses of, let's say, progesterone throughout the month. What is progesterone? It's what's known as progestation hormone. It's the hormone that's designed to create a state in the body where an ovum that has been inseminated will go to full term. Okay? So what happens to a woman when she's pregnant? When she has the most progesterone consistently in her body over a 9-month period. She puts on weight. Her hair will be great. Her skin will be great, but she'll put on a bunch of weight. Now, if you give a woman a massive dose of progesterone throughout a 28-day period, she's just going to put on weight. She doesn't really need it for 28 days straight. She only needs it for 1 week because, as I said before, a woman is progesterone dominant only during 2 weeks of the cycle, and it's from day 14 to day 18. So these are the type of mistakes that I would encounter from doctors who are versed in this, who are supposedly knowledgeable about this area, but they weren't, because they weren't endocrinologists. They were doctors in other areas who jumped on the bandwagon, on the hormone bandwagon, in order to try and make money. And again, this is an industry, people. It's an industry. It's an industry much like any other industry. You can look at your doctor and say, this is a physician, that he cares about me, he wants to treat me. And yes, there's a degree of that as well, but it is a profession. It's what he does for a living. And he's going to do this in order to obviously, pay the bills, keep a roof over his head, and, and do the best that he can for himself. So one of the things that I found, now we started offering saliva tests at Lifestyles Nutrition Center. And we were offering saliva tests. They're not invasive. You don't need to go in and draw blood, but we would offer complete hormone mapping. And there was also a certain amount of medical ignorance that was out there in the community, not just from physicians who got into the whole field of hormone replacement therapy in order to jump on the bandwagon, but it was actually coming from the labs themselves. Because one of the things that we discovered is we started offering saliva testing, which is a very accurate way to determine hormone levels in women. And I had one gal that came in. She was 55. She was already menopausal, and the lab said on the kit, it said that this post-menopause test isn't really applicable to this person because she was postmenopausal, and therefore she's flatlining. They said that her hormones are all flatlining. Now, it was an expensive test because a complete mapping of female hormones is somewhere around $500. If you go to your physician, on the other hand, I assure you it's not going to be less than $1,000. And again, like I said, these are ways where you can do it cheaper. Don't get scammed. In my opinion, you shouldn't really be paying thousands and thousands of dollars for these tests, especially if they're done only once a month. It should be a complete mapping of hormones that's done over a period of 28 days. Anyway, make a long story short, this gal insisted that we do a complete hormone mapping. I called the lab up. The lab said, don't give her this test because it's not going to be accurate. We know she's flatlining. The gal insisted. She said, no, I want to know exactly what's going on, when it's going on throughout my cycle. Wonderful. We went and did the test, sent it into the lab, and lo and behold, she was cycling hormones. So the lab was wrong. The prevailing idea of hormones in the medical field was wrong. A woman who's postmenopausal isn't flatlining. I'm sorry. And not only were they wrong in this gal's instant, they were wrong in over 15 cases that we saw. So we scrapped that whole idea. We don't care if a woman is 13 years old or 90 years old. She's going to be cycling her hormones. The body is a machine, and that machine cycles hormones in a certain way, and if you give the body what it needs, when it needs it, that woman will feel good. So, when we come back after the break, I'm gonna dive a little bit more into this whole concept of hormone replacement therapy, how to avoid some of the scams that are out there, how to reduce the cost of your hormone replacement therapy, and I'm going to offer my own program, which is relatively cheap, very effective, and I think we're going to be causing a lot of good in the world by doing this. You are listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition radio program on Money Radio 1200.
NBC News Radio, I'm Melissa Rayberger. Secretary of State John Kerry said today he does not believe Congress will reject military action against Syria, but lawmakers are making it clear that the vote will not be easy and the outcome is not assured. Michigan Congressman Mike Rogers, a Republican.
I think that Congress will rise to its Article I constitutional responsibilities to provide for the general defense of the United States, but it's going to take that healthy debate to get there.
Rogers, who chairs the House Intelligence Committee, spoke on CNN's State of the Union. President Obama won praise from Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, a frequent critic of the White House.
He's coming to Congress in a constitutional manner and asking for our authorization. That's what he ran on. His policy was that no president should unilaterally go to war without congressional authority, and I'm proud that he's sticking by it.
Arizona Senator John McCain said he will not vote for a resolution authorizing a cosmetic military attack. This is NBC News Radio.
Geico presents another helpful message from your conscience.
You should switch to Geico because you could save money on car insurance. Yeah, you agree with me because I'm your conscience. I'm always telling you to do the right thing. Listen to this. Geico's been around for 75 years, so they have an impressive legacy of saving people money. They deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award for that little jewel. Anyway, switch to Geico. And let's slow down on the powdered donuts. Try to respect yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
In mid-sized companies, the left hand needs to know what the right hand is doing. When they do, business can take on a whole new rhythm, especially with IBM's Smart Cloud Engage Advanced. It combines communities, web meetings, and file sharing with business-grade email in one security-rich environment, making it the smarter way to collaborate. Register now for your 60-day free trial at ibm.com/engines/engage.
Safe House of the Desert is the only shelter for runaway and homeless youth in the Coachella Valley. Providing services 24 hours a day, Safe House gives teens a safe place to be and helps them face serious family or school problems, addiction issues, and mental health problems that may seem overwhelming. We are building new transitional living apartments for kids aging out of the foster care system as well. Safe House of the Desert, keeping kids off the street. For more information or to support Safe House of the Desert, visit us at safehouseofthedesert.com.
What the market close means for you, along with insight from local business leaders. It's the Financial Review with Sinclair No, weekday afternoons at 4 on Money Radio 1200.
That's beautiful. There you go, Bill. Sing it for me, Bill. Yeah. This is my good friend Bill Ferguson in the background. He's a local guy, wonderful guitar player. I want a little bit more of this. That's beautiful. Yeah, if you ever need a great guitar player, great singer who does anything from Frank Sinatra to La Bamba to Van Morrison as well, give Bill Ferguson a call, 760-347-0422. Before we went to break, our show topic today is hormone replacement therapy, the truths, the lies, and how to avoid getting scammed. So I spoke a little bit. I set up the whole concept of what is a correct female hormone cycle, what's going on with that, who are the major players. We established that during day 14, before ovulation, a woman achieves maximum threshold of estrogen, and during day 21, she achieves maximum threshold of progesterone, and then the decay of progesterone ushers in the cycle. Now, before the break, I talked about the concept of the female machine. I hit on it lightly, but I'd like to elaborate on that. The female body, and I don't care if a girl is 13 or she's 93 years old. It doesn't matter. The female body is a machine. It performs wonderfully when those two players, the estrogen and the progesterone, are kicking in, one on day 14, one on day 21. When after 14 days of a cycle, that maximum estrogen hits its peak, and then it's followed up 7 days later by a maximum of progesterone. I don't care who the female is. She could be 13 years old and be producing those hormones by herself, or she could be 93 years old and experiencing hormone replacement therapy, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. She's going to feel great. Now, if a woman does not get any of these at any point, it's like a Bugatti without an oil change. It's like a Ferrari with a flat tire. It's like a Rolls Royce without a coat of wax on it. Okay, it's a phenomenal machine. Hopefully, your woman is a Ferrari or a Bugatti or a Rolls Royce. God bless you. I hope every woman in your life is a Bugatti or a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce. But if she's not getting what she needs when she needs it, I'm sorry. It's a Ferrari with a flat tire, and she's not going to feel great. And if you don't know how to help her with this, or if she doesn't know how to go about helping herself, then yeah, she's going to say, I look in the mirror, I look like a Ferrari, but I feel like a Pinto. So let's get into this whole concept of what it is that we can do in order to help the Ferrari be a Ferrari. So one of the things that we discovered right before I went to break, we were talking about the various saliva tests that we offered, and then how there was this medical ignorance circulating about how women who are postmenopausal are completely flatline. No, they don't flatline. Your hormones do not flatline. You just cycle them in a lesser way that does not achieve a cycle. So, in many ways, we can make a decision and say to ourselves, we're living in this modern era, this beautiful era where we can make a choice to supplement the body with the hormones that it needs in order to be a Ferrari. Or you can say to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to do it. But that's almost like a decision. It's almost like saying, in this day and age, I'm going to go to England in a sailing boat. Why would you do that when you can get into a 747 and fly from LAX to Heathrow Airport in just the lap of luxury? Why would you make a decision to be old school about it and go on a boat for 3 weeks, rocking back and forth and vomiting into a bucket? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. This era is offering all these things. We just need to be able to do them right. So the female cycle requires those two peaks to be met, and they can be easily met. The only problem is that I found that this is where the scams come in. You go to your physician, you say, I'm not feeling great. First mistake that I've seen them make is they test you one time. They don't do a complete hormone mapping. So if you want to know what's going on in your body, you want to know which one of these hormones is not correct for you, you need a complete mapping of your hormones. We offer at Lifestyles Nutrition Center, we offer a saliva test. It takes 28 days to execute. It takes 2 days to get the test back. But once we have it, we know exactly what you're weak in, what you're strong in, and then we know when to give it to you. We know not to put you on progesterone the whole month, not to put you on estrogen the whole month. We know to give it to you for a week, to pump up, let's say, just your estrogen right before ovulation, or to pump up your progesterone before day 21. Now, so that was the first discovery that we had, which was one, females do not flatline. They keep on cycling. The second thing we discovered, which is, bear with me, okay, I'm going off into some hippie area here, but, it was something, I'm not a hippie myself, but when I noticed it, I was like, oh, maybe I was the moonbeam in a past life, or maybe, I was a Hare Krishna dancing at the airport. Because what we discovered was that ovulation in 80% of the women that we tested coincided with a full moon. The other 20% coincided with a new moon. Now, this is really nothing new. A lot of times you'll hear women that are like, oh, the full moon's out, I'm about to get my period. Or there's a new moon out, I'm about to get my period. So it was just cool to have science validate the concept that the moon actually has an effect on female hormones in the body. Now, this was a wonderful tool for us, because the moment we discovered that a woman is going to be either ovulating or she's going to be coming down from her progesterone at any particular time, we were able to construct a program for any woman, especially women who don't have a period, because that's the first thing that happens to me when I'll get a gal who's 60 years old. She'll say, I've heard that you're able to adjust my hormones. I don't have $2,000 to spend on a doctor's visit. I don't want to spend $1,000 for a complete female hormone mapping. I don't want to spend $300 to have that's another thing that some of these physicians will do. They'll make you pay $300 to get your hormones delivered home every week, and it's an annual fee. Why should anybody pay $300 to have medication sent to their home for a year? Why? It makes no sense. It's just a scam. No woman should go and pay $300 for that. You're paying for the medication anyway. It should be sent to you for free, or you should be able to go to your pharmacy and pick it up. So anyway, we found out. Here, let me calm down. Take a deep breath. Calm down. Yeah, I do want this to be a friendly show. I'm not a ranter and a raver. So what we were able to do is I'd get a gal who would come in. She'd say, "Listen, I heard that you're able to help me." We would say, "Okay, fine. Let's give you the hormones that you need according to a lunar cycle." So, for instance, this month coming up on September 19th is a full moon. So, how would we implement a program for a gal who's not getting her period and hasn't had a period for over a decade? It's real simple. What did we say? Ovulation occurs on day 14. Day 14 is also would be full moon. This month, September 19th, is full moon. So we would count 7 days back, and we would give her 1 week's worth. That's all she needs. 7 days worth of estrogen. It's real simple. Then full moon kicks in on the 19th. She stops her estrogen. And that's followed up by a week of progesterone. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need any more. Now, is this very generic? Yes. Are we shoehorning 3 billion women in the planet into one very simple and basic program? Yes, we are. But far be it from me to dictate to women how these hormones are going to behave and how much of the hormone they need. I've created this program for women. They've come to me and they've said to me, "Hey, you know what? I felt on day, let's say, 3 days into using the progesterone that I needed more." Good, wonderful. You're in touch with your body. I love you, honey. Yeah, all women should be this sensitive. Great. Go ahead, take more. I've had women who've come to me and said, "You know what? I didn't feel so good using the progesterone. I felt great on the estrogen, didn't feel good using the progesterone." Fine, back off of it. You're sensitive. I adore you too. You're a woman who's in touch with your body. The world needs more of you, not less of you. So that would be the basics of navigating these hormones. Now, I'm sure that there's a group of women out there, especially in light of what Angelina Jolie just did, which was, this is probably a little controversial. I know Hollywood praised Angelina Jolie for being such a warrior, being so brave and having a double mastectomy in the face of the discovery that she had a gene in the body that ends up as breast cancer. I'm sorry, that's fear. That's not being a warrior. That's being scared. The way to really address this is to do everything that's humanly possible to keep your breasts and not develop cancer. And that's the way to go. Not opt for the easy way out. That's a fear-based reaction. And what have I been saying for the last few months? I've been saying, if I can scare you, I can manipulate you. If I can manipulate you, I'm going to get you to part with your money, and I'm going to make you do things that you probably would have never thought of doing. So the way to address this is not to go down the road of a double mastectomy. In fact, there are hormones in the body that counter cancer. Like, for instance, I had a gal 6 months ago. She came to me. She said, I actually had breast cancer. I've had a lump removed from my body, but I'm going through menopause right now. And I would like to get on your program, but I'm real scared of the estrogen that you're going to give me. I told her, no problem. What we know as estrogen are really 3 hormones. Estrogen, progesterone is really progesterone, but what we call estrogen is really a mother group of 3 hormones. It's estradiol, which is the most dominant form, estrone, and estriol. So if she has an estrogen-related sensitivity, what she needs is not more estradiol. What she needs is more estriol, because estriol is anti-cancerous. Estriol scavenges for cancer in the body. So what I did with this gal, instead of putting her on a estrogen cream that was estradiol-based, I put her on an estrogen cream that was estriol-based. Estriol opposes cancer. There's a series of nutrients that oppose breast cancer. So this is all very easy to navigate if you know what you're doing. But the first thing is, don't be scared. Don't get scammed. If you have any questions about this, please feel free. Fire them at me at lifestylesweb@yahoo.com or at lifestylesweb@yahoo.com. And you're also welcome to call me at the store, 760-568-6522. After the break, we're going to go to break now. After the break, we're going to do Herb of the Week and Best Question of the Week and the Acupuncture Report. You're listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition radio program on Money Radio 1200.
Memory. It can be, well, less than reliable. Do you ever walk into a room and forget why you went in there? Ever lose your train of thought right in the middle of a conversation? What about misplacing your car keys or misplacing the whole car? If you think about it, your brain controls everything you do, walking, talking, and remembering things. The healthier your brain is, the better it's able to control all these important functions. As a normal part of aging, our memory begins to fade. Prevagen was developed to improve memory and support cognitive function. If you're experiencing occasional absent-mindedness or just want to support healthy brain function, then visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center in Indian Wells and ask for Prevagen. Prevagen is also available by calling 760-368-6522. Call 760-368-6522 or visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center and ask for Prevagen today.
Whenever I work out, my joints ache the next morning.
It's embarrassing to have to take the elevator instead of walking up 1 flight of stairs because your knees and ankles grind.
I tried glucosamine, and it doesn't work.
Thank goodness I found out about Baxel. Now I'm ready to start my day.
Almost immediately I could feel the difference.
I needed Baxel's boost of hyaluronan.
It's safe, it's natural, and it's guaranteed joint relief.
Let me spell it out. B-A-X-Y-L works.
Knees, shoulders, hips, back. Nothing felt good until I took Baxel.
There's nothing like feeling great.
Running a 10K.
Riding bicycles with my grandkids.
I really miss working in my yard on weekend. Thanks to Baxel, I spend every Saturday outdoors.
Baxel lets me be active without worrying about how you'll feel tomorrow.
I asked myself, why did I feel so old for so long?
Baxel is available at Lifestyles Nutrition Center and online at lifestylesnutrition.net. Your joints will thank you. If good health is important to you, look no further than products from Genesis Today. Genesis Today has a great line of nutritional supplements made from pure natural foods that your body can absorb, instead of chemical supplements manufactured in a laboratory. Genesis Today is a progressive nutrition company that specializes in superfoods. These exceptional plants and fruits are packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other vital nutrients at 20 times, 100 times, even 200 times the nutritional value of common fruits and vegetables. These products are prepared with low to no heat so as not to destroy the nutrients and package them in non-toxic glass bottles for your consumption. Visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center today to find out what Genesis Today product is right for you.
Have you ever gone to a health food store seeking help and left with a product you didn't trust and information that was less than reliable? That never happens at Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells. We have over 20 years of matching our customers with the right supplements to enhance their life and improve their health. Come to Lifestyles and experience our experience. Feel better, look better. And now, through the summer months, receive 25% off of all of our store supplements. For more information, call 760-568-6522. And remember the name, Lifestyles, the first, the last, and the only health food store you will ever need.
The financial and business news you need, along with local business experts. Coachella Valley Business for Breakfast with Marshall Gilbert. Weekday mornings at 8.
When life is too much, definitely roll with it, baby. Thank you, Valley, for playing that for me. On the knobs today, making me sound like $1 million is our very own Valley Harvey. Thank you, Valley. I can't sound this good without you. You know that, right? Yeah, she's giving me the thumbs up and a wink. So, you're listening to the Lifestyle Nutrition Radio program. Welcome back to the show. Let's do best question of the week. Actually, you know what? Let's do herb of the week because it kind of ties into what I was talking to earlier about hormone replacement therapy. There was one aspect of the scams that I want to clue some of the women in before we move on to herb of the week. There's a quick technique that physicians will use to make you feel good immediately, and that is the testosterone pellet. If you're going through menopause, you're experiencing menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, irritability, emotional outbursts, weight gain, a quick silver bullet, and possibly a problem with diminished libido. One of the things that is kind of silver bullet to all of this is to immediately pump up your testosterone, because that's going to fix your libido. It'll make your body leaner. It'll make you happier. It's a good thing to do, but, and this is where the big but comes in, some of these physicians are too readily, they're quick in administering this, and they'll do it from visit to visit to visit. So they'll kind of pump up your estrogen, your testosterone to a level that's really not great for you, and it can cause problems. And it's a quick solution, and again, it's another $300 here, another $300 there, and you come back every month, and they're doing this to you. And the overall sum total of things is that we really don't need to adjust your testosterone that much to make you feel happy. What we really should be doing is fixing your estrogen and progesterone. So if you have any questions about menopausal symptoms, saliva testing, anything like that, go ahead, fire a question at me through email at lifestylesweb@yahoo.com. Now, herb of the week is something that is wonderful for any woman, and especially for any woman who's going through menopause. The herb is Dong Quai. That's the Chinese name. It's commonly known as Dong Quai. We don't have another name for it. The Latin name is Angelica Sinesis. Dong Quai is spelled D-O-N-G-Q-U-A-I, and the Latin name is Angelica Sinesis, A-N-G-E-L-I-C-A. Or also known as Chinese Angelica. Now, what will you experience if you take Dong Quai? First of all, in the Oriental Materia Medica, it is used as a tonic for the blood, and in particularly the relationship between the blood and the reproductive system. So, if, let's say, mom or grandma went through menopause a little early, chances are reproductive system wasn't getting nurtured by the blood. So what this will do is it will create a better bond between the body and the body's ability to nurture the reproductive system. Secondly, it will help maintain proper hormone levels. And 3, it has a wonderful normalizing effect on the female cycle, period. Doesn't matter if, let's say a woman is experiencing period pains. It has an ability to correct some of that. Let's say you're experiencing some headaches during ovulation or possibly during the 3rd week of your cycle. It has the ability to fix that. It's just a normal, it's just a wonderful tonic for the blood. So if you're anemic, let's say you're a vegetarian, female vegetarian, or a guy for that matter. It's actually used for guys as well. I've had it in formulations that are tonifying for the blood. So if you're anemic, anybody who's anemic, yes, you do need iron. Yes, you do need folic acid. Yes, you do need B12. Add Dong Quai to what you're doing, and you're going to get to where you want to be in a much faster way. So that's Dong Quai in a nutshell. Beautiful herb. And it's also called the ginseng of women. Now, let's do best question of the week. This was sent to me at lifestylesweb@yahoo.com. It's from Patricia Covey of Palm Springs, and she says, Dear Amit, love the show. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate it. She writes, I have acid reflux for many years. I have been using Nexium for at least 2 years, but I still suffer from this condition weekly. Is there anything I can do to fix my problem? Yes, Patricia. Yes, you can. First of all, I want to give a warning out there that some of these medications that are used for actually what Nexium does, the warning is they actually suppress the stomach's ability to produce acid. Now, as God designed you, you are supposed to have that stomach acid. Without it, you will not digest your food properly. One of the basic things that we do when we digest our food is we disinfect the food. So if we're neutralizing your stomach acid in order to avoid that stomach acid from climbing up into the esophagus and causing heartburn, what are we doing? We're allowing bacteria to penetrate into the body, and we're not digesting our food completely. And that can bring with it a lot of problems. I mean, we know of cytomegalovirus, or human papillomavirus, which are present in food, and they can penetrate into the body, and they're known to cause cancer. So, what can you do? First of all, don't eat too late. Secondly, don't eat too much. Thirdly, there's a wonderful Chinese formula. It's called curing pills. Whenever at the first sign of experiencing heartburn, you take the curing pills. They're kind of cool because it's a capsule, and in the capsule there's tiny little pellets. You can open them up, and you can swallow them. It has a nice taste to it, so I kind of suck on the pills if I ever have heartburn. Swallow them, and it goes through the body, and it hits the body very rapidly, and it will stop that. Now, if any problem with the esophagus that we have, it takes about 90 days to fix. Meaning, if somebody has an ulcer, within 90 days, well, actually, all the cells in the body, from point of entry to point of exit, we have a complete turnover of those cells within 90 days. That means that we can cure an ulcer or a heartburn or any of these problems within 90 days, as long as we're not continuously irritating these mucus linings of the esophagus and the stomach. So the most healing substance that I know of is called omega-7. I've spoken about it in the past. It's extracted from a plant. It's extracted from a fruit called sea buckthorn. And the combination of curing pills and omega-7 is a wonderful way of going about addressing the acid reflux without the need for Nexium or any of these stomach juice or acid suppressing medications. So I hope that was helpful to you, Patricia. Please come on into the store, Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells, California. Come pick up your prize. I hate it when I just, I get all tongue-tied. Anyway, come into the store, press the flesh with the Katzman, and you'll get your prize. Now, before we leave, I wanted to do the acupuncture report. The last few weeks I've been sending a message out to the folks, letting people know that me and our acupuncturist that works now at Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells, his name is Dr. Peter Leo. We are doing a vet outreach program, which means if you know somebody that's come back from Afghanistan or come back from Iraq and they're banged up and maybe the VA is addressing their issues but not addressing them completely, and they need a little bit tender, loving care, we are going to take these folks on gratis. We're going to treat them. We're going to try to take their health up one notch. We are offering them three months of free treatment at the clinic. And we already have a gentleman that we're working with right now. It's been only 2 weeks. So we're helping this gentleman, and we need more of your help. So if you know anybody that needs this tender, loving care, by all means, give us a call, 760-568-6522. Where did the time go? Thank you so much for joining me. Put the good word out there. Like us on Facebook. And God bless. You've been listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition radio program on 1200 Money Radio.